Welcome back to Get Connected. I'm your host, Con Jackson, and we're in the city that hosts the original painting of The Last Supper done by Leonardo da Vinci. Do you know where in the world we are? Well, of course, we're in Milan, Italy, and we're having a great time, and soon we'll be looking into the fashion houses that are home-based here. Are you ready for these names? Gucci, Prada, Armani, Valentino, and so many others. But first and foremost, it's time for Health Beat. And we're gonna go all the way across the world from Milan. We're going to connect live right now to Seattle, where Dr. Mease is joining us, and he's going to be talking about back pain and a certain concern that he has related to it. Doctor, welcome to Get Connected.
It's great to be with you, Con.
Well, doctor, on a side note, my mom and dad both met in Seattle and got married. What makes that region so spectacular for you?
Oh, my. Well, I just love the fact that wherever you go, there's water and mountains to look over, and a great spirit in this town.
Well, doctor, we also have to salute the Seattle area also for Starbucks. But first and foremost, let's get right down to it. What's the call to action today?
This is a Arthritis Awareness Day, and the problem that we wanted to bring to your listeners' attention is the fact that not all back pain is simply due to wear and tear or strain and injury, but there can be actual diseases of the spine that can be readily treatable and can affect people in young years at the primes of their lives. So we wanted to try to highlight this special kind of problem called ankylosing spondylitis.
You know, doctor, what exactly is that medically?
So, ankylosing spondylitis affects almost 1 million people in the United States, but it's probably underdiagnosed in most or misdiagnosed because back pain is such a common problem and it's dismissed as being something routine. It's a situation where the body's immune cells, white blood cells, attack the ligaments, joints, and bones of the spine. Very similar to the way rheumatoid arthritis, the immune cells attack peripheral joints like hands and feet. It typically occurs in people in their late 20s, 30s, sometimes early 40s, men or women, and it's often dismissed. So the delay in diagnosis sometimes is as long as 6 to 10 years, unfortunately, because it's so treatable, especially when caught early.
Well, great news, it's treatable, but what options are out there for us?
Well, we start with anti-inflammatory medicines, but there's a class of medicines that's been available to us over the last a little over a decade known as biologics or anti-TNF medicines. And these medicines have really revolutionized our treatment of autoimmune arthritis conditions, including ankylosing spondylitis, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis. So we can now work with somebody with this condition and say, we can put you in remission and really prevent a lot of the disability that tends to occur if the disease is left untreated.
Now, when it comes to arthritis, are there any preventative measures that we can take?
So the kind of arthritis we're talking about, which is related to immune system problems, really is probably directed primarily by our genetics. So we're born with the genes that give us a proclivity to having one of these kinds of arthritis. So we can't really change that. Once the condition starts to occur, there are a lot of things that we can do for it. For example, I really strongly recommend various forms of therapeutic exercise because we know that keeping the muscles and ligaments strong and fit are good for the joints in general. We also strongly recommend getting adequate sleep and using appropriate medications that can control the inflammation. And I think going back to the original issue of the diagnosis, really getting a sense of what constitutes inflammation, arthritis, pain, and stiffness and distinguishes it from other forms of arthritis. There's a website that the Spondylitis Association has developed, which is a simple questionnaire which allows people to take this test online and it helps steer them as to whether their back pain is due to an injury or a degeneration problem or is due to this autoimmune inflammation. That website is called backpaintest.org, backpaintest.org. And the Spondylitis Association has also developed a great educational website known as stopas.org, where you can view lectures for lay audiences or read various materials to really understand what's behind this kind of condition.
Doctor, thank you so much for your advice and your time today.
Con, thanks for having me on.
I always love that no matter where we are in the world, we always squeeze in Health Beat because we want to be healthy so we can enjoy the world together. Now, when we come back, we're going to enjoy fashion and style. Milan is home, as we said before, to Prada, Gucci, Valentino, Armani. We'll discover these fashion houses together when we come back. Thank you so much for watching. Are you tired of negative news? We are.
And that's why we're creating a movement.
By keeping it real.
With what you need to know.
It's more than what's happening.
It's bringing hope back to our lives.
So go to contv.com and join our movement.